Hey there, it's still the same day as the earlier video, whatever it is, January 11th. It's a Wednesday, 2012. Sorry, it's January 12th. It's Wednesday. Anyway, this is a real life type video. Why did I get up early this morning? I got up at 5:45 and I actually put my little Google Nest, I put the alarm on to wake me up. And the only time I ever do that is if I gotta get up early, which is extremely rare. Now, granted, I wake up every day. Could be 5:45, 6, 6:15, 6:30, 6:45, 7, 7:15, 7:30. Maybe one day I sleep into 8. That's just a sign of the times. I might go to bed midnight, 12:15, 12:30, and I still wake up that same time. And I like it. It's nature's clock. That's how I wake up. So if I got to set an alarm, I don't like doing that. I'd rather just wake up to the natural cycle of sleep whenever my body wakes me up. So anyway, real life story here, and I'll tell you why I got up early at the end. Back in the day as a cop, I'd be in schools quite a bit. I spent almost a decade going into schools from pre-K up through 11th grade in high school. Every single grade in there, not every single class. Little kids, elementary school kids, I would read to students. Middle school, high school, I started handing books out to students. I handed out something like 35,000 free books to kids in the local schools throughout the county, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia. Yeah, I traveled around a little bit sometimes handing books out too. Kind of like Johnny Appleseed, but with books. So, but during the course of those talks, I'd have teachers sometimes that they'd have a unruly type class. And I remember one teacher in particular, she made a comment to some students like, you really need to listen to Officer Mazske. You need a mentor like him in your life. Listen to what he says. He's a wise man. And when I heard that wise man, I was like, me? I'm a wise man? But a lot of these kids, they've grown up without dads, okay? I gave a talk in a county school one time out, a rural type of school. I like that school because it reminded me of where the high school I went to. The high school I went to, it had chickens, it had cows, it had ducks, rabbits, like a farm on the school property. We were considered the redneck school of the county, okay? The school I went to was kind of like the far out school of the county where I kind of lived at, kind of. So when I was in there one day, for whatever reason, I was like a guest speaker in a class, high school class. And I forget why, but the teacher was talking to a student and something came up and it was something about clothing. And the teacher was like, well, look at Officer Mazske there, because I was off duty, so I was in my civilian attire. And I was wearing probably khaki pants and a polo shirt with a little collar, just a basic polo shirt. And she goes, look at Officer Mazske there. Look at how he's dressed. You just get a basic collar shirt like that and just a pair of slacks. It could be khaki, it could be whatever color. And you can get something cheap at a thrift store. And you're presentable. You look good then. It's a good way to, I think it was in regards to an upcoming oral presentation, and the teacher wanted everybody to dress up. And I was standing up there thinking, wait a second, this teacher's telling students to dress like I do, and I was a bum. I grew up wearing whatever, and I was a bum. I worked landscape for 3 years. I was dirt covered half the time. But then I was like, I got a little collar on my shirt, not this shirt, of course, but it got me thinking. A lot of these kids don't have a two-parent family. They're not, if they do have a two-parent family, parents are working all the time. The ones who do work, they're working. And sometimes kids, they kind of fall through the cracks where no one's really giving them life lessons, okay? So I challenge you, no matter who you are, unless you're like me and you're early retired and you want to live the life of fun in the sun, okay? But I challenge you, try to mentor to younger folks or to folks your same age. You don't have to call it mentoring. You don't have to tell anybody you're mentoring to them, but just share some life stories with them sometimes, because sometimes people, like I brought up the other day, I mentioned taking care of your teeth. I mentioned using a water pick. How many people talk about that in the workplace? How many teachers talk about that in schools? They don't. But if everyone started using a water pick, $69, $79 in Walmart, get them on Amazon, whatever, get a rechargeable one. If everyone started using one, I won't guarantee anything, but I would almost guarantee it'll cut down on dental problems in the future when you're 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 years old. I read a story in the Wall Street Journal yesterday about there's a group of scientists that are diligently working to extend the human lifespan. Not extend it to 150, nothing like that. But they're saying they think within 20 years, they can have a way of, through personalized care for individuals to treat certain things, to extend the human life by perhaps 10% to 20%. So if someone was going to live to be 80 and they extend it by 10%, that's 88. So by 20%, that'd be what, 96 years old. Okay, so they extend the life incrementally, 10 to 20%, which is substantial. Okay, but they said at the same time, if someone lived to be 120, they don't want them feeling like they're 120. They want someone who's 120 feeling like they're 70, and then maybe then when they die off, they just kind of die off. Okay, so we will live longer, better quality type lives, and then die at the end, not linger on for 20 years with aches and pains and this and that. Okay, so anyway, I digress. But reading is good for the mind. All right, so why did I get up early? Back on December the 30th, I finally got my annual physical. At annual physical, they then do a little lab report for you to go to the lab to get blood drawn. The missus and I, she had a physical the same day. And then we went to the lab last week, and we said, oh, we'll get there about 8:30 in the morning. We walked in at 8:30 in the morning, and it was like jam-packed full of people, like people sitting in all the chairs, people standing. It was like a room not much bigger than the room I'm in. People are just stacked in there. And I walk up to sign in, and the lady said something like, there's at least a 2-hour wait. And me and the missus, we stood there a little bit. We had a mask on, and it's like, we're not doing this. So we left. All right, so we left. So then I tried to find out if I could get an appointment, and no luck. So I said, okay, I figured out the hours, and walk-ins at this lab started at 6:30 in the morning. So I got up 5:45 so I could shower, so I could be halfway presentable, and drove there. And I got there at 6:34, and there were 4 folks sitting in the lobby already, and I signed in, and I watched, and one person got called, they got second person, third person, fourth, and then I was the 5th. Meanwhile, other people came in after me, so by the time I walked in, instead of, say, me sitting there was 5 people, there were 7 or 8 people sitting there by the time I walked in. Chatting with the nurse, because I chit-chat with everybody, told me a couple things. One, she said they're low on employees. They're low on manpower. And I'm hearing that everywhere. Restaurants are low, airports, truck drivers, factories. Everybody needs workers, okay? So it's hurting, it's impacting us. All right. 2, she said I was the last person who was getting called as a walk-in because the next person would be the first person with the appointment. The appointment started at 7. I walked back there like at 6:59. So the very next person they called would be the person with the 7 o'clock appointment. She said the problem though is, because I referenced coming the week earlier at 8:30, and she's like, if you come 8:30, you're going to wait for hours to get back here. Okay. It's just how it is. So she said with the appointments, you have doctors and nurses that are triple booking patients. So even though they might have a 7 o'clock appointment, 3 people have a 7 o'clock appointment. And as the day progresses, they get more and more backlogged. So if you come in as a walk-in, which for routine blood work for an annual physical, you walk in and get your blood taken, you may wait for 2, 2.5, 3 hours. We're living in the life of COVID. They have a tiny waiting room, and you're chock full of people. Doesn't seem too safe to me. Okay? I mean, everyone has masks on, but still, if you're like, boom, you're right there together. So anyway, that's why I got up early. So I don't mind doing that occasionally, but I don't want to work a job where I have to do that every single day. All right, I'd rather, like I said, get up with nature's clock. So, all right, enough's enough. This will be it for my videos today. There should be an interview tomorrow evening. I may not upload it till Friday, so if I upload it Friday, I'll do a quick video about some financial topic, not a life topic, but a financial topic sometime tomorrow. All right, y'all take care. Stay safe. Love life. Mazske signing out.